Hey, y'all. It's Lex back at it again. And I hope y'all are really good. I hope that your week has been pretty smooth. How y'all doing with this retrograde? Yeah, me too. This retrograde, honestly, it start like for me, I'm just so glad I'm into astrology because I know the girls I don't know what's going on are just like, bitch, what the fuck is going on? Like the girls are literally fighting. The girls are quite literally fighting for their life. And I'm here for it. I'm here for the drama, I'm here for the mess, I'm here for the toxicity, I'm here for the chaos. If y'all with it, put a thumbs up and like and comment if you for the chaos, okay? For the okay. Hope y'all are doing good. Make sure y'all don't get into no fights this retrograde. This retrograde is real spicy, especially if you're a mutable placement or a fixed sign, which I have all of them. I'm always feeling everything at once. So make sure that y'all are, getting into your soothing exercises, your meditation practices, your mindfulness practices to really get through this crazy astro weather. I think by September it should calm a little bit down. But yeah, comment down below. How have y'all been doing? How are y'all feeling? I hope y'all doing good. And today I really wanted to look at Colin Kaepernick's birth chart because he recently came out and was stating that he wanted to return back to the NFL and he wanted to be a player again. And he was, very adamant about wanting to start into, get his career back up on track. I mean, when you're in the NFL, that's like a lifelong trajectory. Like I remember I went to school with this guy and like he was like being bred and being groomed to be an NFL player from elementary school. Like that's not something you could just like flop into. Like you have to dedicate so much time and effort to be an NFL player. And so for him not to, experience the fruits of his labor and to experience a thing that he was really passionate about, I know that's like it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, and unfortunately, this is the sacrifice that is made when you are, set out to be this sort of martyr. When he came out in direct protest of police brutality by taking a knee, by kneeling. That was a crazy time. That was, even though he it was a peaceful protest and no one was harmed except the people who have been harmed by police. It sparked so much controversy. I know that he had like a Nike ad that was very controversial. Overall just became a very controversial figure, became this social activist warrior. And, you know, I don't think he anticipated that being in his cards. I really don't. And I know that he had a Netflix special that depicted moments of his life growing up. I didn't really know too much about him. I just knew that he was fine. I'm just kidding. But I didn't really know too much about him, but watching that series really did open up a lot of my eyes to his upbringing and the fact that, he was this, ambiguous person in a very white racist town. And his parents even had to deal with their own internalized racism, right? Having to care and look after this clearly clearly non-white child that they loved and they appreciated but they didn't quite understand. That is the dilemma of having children. That is the dilemma of being a child in this society that punishes you for being an other, punishes those who are others and who do not fit in the stereotypical mold of what we should accept. And I think he's a very interesting person, Um, and I want to just get into his chart and look at the transits a little bit to see what's going on with him, what we can discover about him that we don't know, that he hasn't told us. And if y'all rocking with it, make sure y'all comment down below. And who should I look into next? Because I've been trying to get back into my passions, y'all. I've just been, the thing about making videos and doing content is that sometimes you have to be hands off. You have to take a moment to step back. And that's what I've been learning with this retrograde is to enjoy and go with the ebbs and flows of life and not having to chase after things, and even if it's not physically but energetically chase after things. And I just wanted to give back to you guys, and I hope you're having a great time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure that if you want your own personal chart read, to email me at goldenflamehealing@gmail.com. I can't wait till I get sponsors and ads. So I could be like, this week with da ra ra ra. Okay, so let me know if you like this angle. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit for you guys. Hold on. Just a little tad bit, just a little tad. Okay, so he is a Scorpio sun conjoined to Pluto, or automatically he is a very polarizing figure. Scorpio suns, sun and Scorpio, like sun likes to be, in Leo. That's where the ruler sign, and it likes to show off and likes to be seen. Scorpio sun conjoined to Pluto, like he's a very, very private person, we see him and then we don't see him. Like he goes into hiding, he goes to rest, he goes and does his thing, he goes to his bat cave and is like a little Scorpio. But conjoined to Pluto, that intensifies everything that it touches. So the fact that it's on his sun, um, you know, the lower description of Pluto is like loss of control, and that could be somebody that has lost their control due to being victimized or being overpowered. um and I mean that makes sense, like maybe like not feeling the ability to express who you truly are, or be validated to be the full version of yourself, your own self-expression. So he could be someone that has um I mean, like this intensifies his sun. So on the lowest active, he could be, an egomaniac. I'm not saying that he is, but that could be the expression on one end. But this could also mean that he is just a deeply, deeply personable person, very, very introspective. This could even look like as someone that is an introvert, right? They go inside themselves to, and they retreat inside of themselves. But automatically just a very polarizing figure, somebody that people could really love or people could really, really hate. There's no in between. The line between love and hate is very thin with Colin Kaepernick. And he has his Mercury in Libra and it's retrograde and it's at this critical 28 degree. And it's so interesting because he was born on the 3rd, and that's the Gemini degree. That's Mercury, that's communication, that's early childhood, And this theme about speaking keeps coming up in his chart. This theme of being a voice or having or not having a voice and having to work towards your own voice and work towards your own power in your voice. So Mercury retrograde, he could be somebody who doesn't feel like he was heard, or he feels like he has to like overcompensate, like kind of like, you know, say certain things in a certain way to get his point across. And the fact that he has his Chiron in Gemini, that's, wounds and being rejected by your communication, like not feeling like you were seen in childhood or heard in childhood or had the voice to convey certain emotions, certain abilities, certain like mental abilities. And, when you are somebody who is rejected in early childhood, you kind of you feel like your voice doesn't matter. You feel like, well, what's the point? Why would I even bring up what I'm feeling when nobody would care anyway? That could have been a theme a lot of the time, but he always had to just be strong. I mean, he has this Martian ruled sun. Like he was somebody that had to be strong no matter what, like this was like innately embedded into him. And he has this, it's not a conjunction, but he has his Mars in Libra. Super cute, super, super cute. Um, uh, very, very motivated for fairness, very motivated by diplomacy, very motivated by fairness. And did I say fairness again? Oops. But very motivated by just keeping civility, keeping the peace. Like this is somebody who can be a great leader because they want to make sure that they enact a sense of diplomacy. Like Libras are really, really great. Like if you're a Libra Mars and you're in law, like this could be someone that goes after solving cases and going after and arguing cases in a way that isn't too crude, but you have tact. You have tact in the way that you assert yourself when you approach different matters, right? And I think that that makes sense. Like he wanted to stand up for what was right. He felt this urge to enact fairness, enact democracy, enact diplomacy, you know? So let's get over here. Okay, so he has his moon conjoined to Jupiter in Aries. And he's an Aries North node, so he's having his nodal return in Aries. So this rejuvenated sense of self, this checkpoint to check in with yourself to see how have you been in relation to your goals, in relation to the things that you want to bring about in this lifetime, and how it relates to yourself. Because Aries is like me, 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 me. Aries is about the self. Is the first sign. Aries is masculine. Mary Aries is, this Martian ruled sign that wants to just ram through life and wants to get all the answers and wants to be very confident. They're very bold, so he can feel like very, very bold in his approach. Like he's like, yeah, Nick, like let me back on the field. Damn. But with this Jupiter moon conjunction in Aries, Aries moon check in, doll check in. Sometimes Aries moon can be very impulsive. Sometimes Aries moon don't know how to sit down. And it's opposite his Mars. So, his emotions and his motivations are they're opposite, right? He could be very motivated by fairness, but then at the same time he wants to go about it his way. He wants to be very rash and very impractical and very impatient. He wants to just rear his head and just do it. I'm gonna go do this. But then he wants to but also he wants to take the motivated route and takes like the fair route. Like, okay, well, let's delineate the subjectivity. Like there is a clashing of battles between the Libra and the Aries, and our moon is, that's our emotions. That's like the core essence of who we are. Um, and to have that opposite our motivations, it can be kind of confusing. Like he would somewhat go against, like, okay, this is how I feel. Like I know this is how I feel, but I need to do this. I need to go after what's right. Like this could honestly, like, I'm not saying this is the gospel. I'm not saying this is the gospel. This is just merely my opinion. That's whole, situation that could have been at a very heightened moment for him. Like he wants to, go after what he believes to be fair, which is social justice, which is activism for those who have been disproportionately affected by not only police but the systems that perpetuate the abuse. um it could have been like a very like heightened time where he was just like, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna do this, fuck it, and like kind of without thinking, like, I'm gonna just do it. And you know it gave him a lot of abundance. It gave him a lot of blessings to like stand up for what's right and to be this pioneer and to fight. But, it also gave him a lot of troubles. Like he wasn't viewed as like fair. He was viewed as this villainized figure, as somebody against who's against veterans and who's against police and who wants to see like all those people that vilified him publicly when all he wanted was fairness. But, there was some point of contention about the way that he went about it that was maybe done in a reckless manner. Like maybe because Moon conjunct Jupiter, like that could be somebody who gets a lot of blessings. They're very charitable. Um they're very, very courteous with the way that they give out their blessings and they give out to others, like very, very charitable people. But this could be someone that is just extremely impulsive. Like with Aries moon having Jupiter on that, it's like adding adding fuel to the fire, you know? Adding fuel to the fire. And I think that he could even be like somewhat of like uh someone that could harbor a lot of emotions. You know, a Mars ruled moon, that's someone that could get really angry really quick. And how else can you process those emotions but by doing sports? Like Aries placements are so good at sports because they just go. Like they give all their aggression and all their anger. Like that is their creative outlet. Like, if an Aries placement doesn't work out, they're gonna get out that aggression by beating somebody up or cursing somebody out. Like they need to have an outlet to channel that fire, channel that passion into something, like get that out so that they can just like be even keeled and be cool. Just like it reminds me of Lava Girl, you know, like when she would like burn up and when she would get really hot, it's hard to put fire out when it's burning the whole house down, you know? So I mean, this moon opposite Mars gives him the ability to have like rationale for him to be like, okay, like what, like for him to like when he's going through his moments where he's like, ah, I'm mad, ah, he's like, okay, wait, like what am I fighting for? Like what is the purpose for all this? Like he can have that, but sometimes it can kind of clash. But you know, through growing up and through maturity and through intention and work, he could be someone that is very, very diplomatic, very, very pragmatic, an amazing leader, but you know, could have suffered from some aggression, you know. Could have suffered from some aggression. I mean, even, you know, there's this saying that, you know, people in sports that come from like lower income and they have, you know, they come from like a lower socioeconomic status and they come from the hood. That's like that makes them hungry. That makes them hungry to go out and get it and to be in survival mode and to go after their passions and to just go crazy on the court, like go crazy in the field, whatever arena that they're in, they just give all of that energy because they don't want to be in the circumstance anymore, right? Like there's a saying that's like, "Oh, well, I didn't have a deadbeat dad and my dad was in the home, so that's why I didn't make it in the NFL." Like, you know, like everyone has like this story that fuels their passions and fuels, you know, their need to make it, to get out. And I can see that with Colin. I can definitely see that with Colin. I mean, he has these really good aspects to Saturn. Um, like Saturn is sextile his moon, Saturn sextile his Jupiter. Like I feel like okay, Colin or Colin's girlfriend, I'm gonna need y'all to start your own knockoff National Football League or something. Like something that you can get your hands into and that's something that you own because you are a leader. You in this lifetime, like you have North Node in Aries, you are supposed to lead. And you have this Saturn conjoined to Uranus that is, you know, like the ruler of your Saturn and your Uranus is Jupiter. And where's your Jupiter in Aries? Like you are supposed to be somebody that makes a lot of passionate moves over a period of time that is done with a sense of innovation, that is done with a sense of newness that has not been done before. Something that is emotionally fulfilling to you, that you can not only own, but you can lead. And something that's going to give you financial blessings. That is passionate, that is something that fuels the fire in your belly. You know, like fuck them NFL niggas. I'm sorry, they're not gonna give you like, yeah, they probably gonna give you a coaching position, but that's not what you want. You want to be in the field, you want to be in the game. You know, this could be a very frustrating time for him. Like he's like, I've given y'all my life and I did this one little thing, whatever, and y'all still made up for it. Y'all got Jay-Z. And niggas still getting shot. So give me my job back. It can be very, very frustrating. I could definitely see him being like, well, well, I mean, and I'm looking at this Venus in Scorpio. Calm me, I'm playing. But this Venus in Scorpio, the 29th degree, it's at this critical, like he has all these critical placements about speaking, about passion, about loyalty, like he values loyalty, he values a sense of depth in his relationships. He values a little bit of power, a little bit of control, but hmm, um, nothing wrong with that, He's a Martian person. But he is this like taboo figure, and he values like speaking about things that are unjust with the world. But when he makes certain moves, he makes certain actions from an emotional place with like out without regulating his emotions and coming to a place of neutrality, they can kind of disgrace him with this opposition. His Jupiter and his moon, you know, like the luminary and um the luminary and the benefic are opposing his Mars, opposing. No, this is supposed to be happy. This is a fight, internal tug of war, you know? But you know what? You can instill something that is fair and that is just, and that not only, like, I could definitely see people like giving people who have been wronged by the police, or people who have just been wronged period by this imperialistic system, and like giving them and putting them in positions of power, giving them an opportunity, you know? And you can, like, a nonprofit, I don't know if he has a nonprofit, I don't know if he does anything on the back end, but like really taking that time to be intentional about making your own craft, and to make your own thing, make your own organization, because you got the placements like over a period of time, and he's still young. He's like 30 something. Like Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius, I'll pull up the transits because I have the transit tracker. So these are his transits that happened on the day that the news broke out. But Pluto in Aquarius is going to be, transiting over the next 20 years. So it's going to slowly square all of his Scorpio placements. So I really do hope that, his sense of identity is going to shake. His own he's going to have his own Pluto square Pluto. He might feel like, you know, restricted in some way, like some external power force might give him some tension over time. Um, and then slowly it's going to come over here and it's going to square his Venus. So watch out for that. Power dynamic struggles in relationships, but he's used to that because he's a Venus and Scorpio. Like he's used to that, but it's just going to add another layer of intensity. You gotta make something. You gotta like really, really make it and really put your effort and your all into it. Like Saturn and Pisces is squaring his Saturn and Sag. Like there's some restriction. There's some like restriction in the way that in his own belief system. There's some there's there's some karma from his belief systems that are coming up that are very challenging. Um, but he has to create something that is new and innovative from his own beliefs, like something that he believes can be true and something that comes out um like Saturn and Sag, those are people who over time establish like a sense of authority with their spirituality. So I don't know what he does. I don't know what he believes in. Um and it could become like kind of extreme, thinking, kind of extreme actions. But over time it people take it well. People take it well, and let me see. Yeah, Sun square his Venus. His Venus in Scorpio is squaring Uranus and Taurus. There might be some, yeah, money might be funny. His relationships might be funny right now. And then, ooh, this Jupiter Mars conjunction is going to get closer to that Chiron. There might be more that comes out like, in where he feels rejected. Saturn is opposite this conjunction, kind of reaping the karmic from the actions that you've taken. He might be feeling like blackballed. Like he can't speak about what he's really going through. And I get it because, we're all under capitalism, well, some of us, and we all have to work and we want to feel comfortable. It's just one of those things that come with being a martyr, come with, standing up for what's right. Sometimes when we stand up for what's right, we get vilified and we get ostracized and isolated. But that doesn't mean that's going to be our story forever. I mean, Pluto right now is squaring his Mercury. This could be him like coming into his own his own revelations about his own power as it relates to his own sense of fairness and diplomacy. Like I feel like he gonna start really popping his ish. Popping his ish. But then, the South Node is on his Mars, actions that he's taken that have come up from the past that are being re-examined. They better not try to they better not try to smear him. Yeah, I mean, like, he's having his nodal return. It's gonna come on his moon and, like, on his moon pretty soon. Like, he needs to understand the power that he has. And it's frustrating, and it's isolating, and it's scary, like, even more than, when he was being it was weird because it was like half the people were loving him and half people, like, wanted him dead. And it was just a crazy time, and now that all the dust has settled, it's like, well, what do I do next? You know what to do next. Start chipping away and being a pioneer in your own right. This Mercury in Leo is squaring his Venus. I mean, his partnerships might be feeling a little funny too. Like, not even just like his dating life, but just partnerships. Like, the allies that he once had, they might be like, well, I got to do my own thing. I gotta take care of myself. I gotta take care of my family. And he's kind of feeling like, where's the loyalty that I had for you, that y'all once had for me? He's just going through his villain origin story all over again. But he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. And then the full moon. Let me look, because we're having a full moon on the 19th. We're having the full moon in Aquarius on the 19th. Yeah, it's gonna be squaring his Venus. Child, he gonna have to let them niggas go. Let them people go and go build your new network. Build you a new network of people who understand. And then Venus square his Saturn. He gonna be all right. He is gonna be all right. But I think it's just about him like shedding this um former version of himself and like really coming to terms with who he is. This Aries North Node, like I am a leader. I am Colin Kaepernick. I have a alliteration for a name. I have a CC. Like Colin Kaepernick. That's a strong, powerful name. Like if you don't make the Colin Kaepernick National Football League, or something like that, like fuck these niggas. And I know it's really hard to fight against the system when they have so much power stacked against you. But if you utilize, I didn't even realize I was not showing the other screen. Wow. That's embarrassing. Um, I was trying to show his transits, but yeah. Well, this is it, you guys. I just wanted to do a quick little stop by, a little drive by, look at his chart and look at him a little bit more. It's hard. It's really, really hard for the fixed signs. It's been hard. It's going to continue to be hard, but he's going to go through another transformation. And I feel like he's going to be like, I don't need y'all nickels. I don't need y'all nickels. I got my own shit. Okay. I got my own shit. Especially when you're so used to like being a part of an organization and like you it's kind of like being an entrepreneur, like you ride that wave where things are really high and things are really good. You're having like 10K months and things are, going really amazing. And then you have a moment where, you kind of hit a plateau and you're not feeling a spark as much. And you're just like, okay, well, let me go like return to my 9 to 5 and go return to the white man. But then you're there and you're like, this ain't me. This ain't me. This ain't me, babe. But yeah, I mean, that was just a little bit, I didn't wanna get too much because I gotta go take me a bubble bath and lay down because 'cause I'm tired, y'all. Like, today really drained me. I'm so glad tomorrow's Friday, child. Let me know if y'all like this. I liked it. I like Colin Kaepernick. I really see a lot of good things for him. He just has to, roll with the punches, and he has to get on his big foot. Um But yeah, I really appreciate y'all. I hope y'all having a really good one. Please let me know how y'all feeling with this Mercury retrograde because I was going through it and then I'm good and I go through it and I'm good and I'm going through it. Like, what are y'all doing to cope with this Mercury retrograde? Okay, make sure it's productive. I don't want to hear nothing crazy because you know, um, it's been a crazy time. It's been crazy, crazy times. But I hope y'all have a great one. Love y'all so much and please take care and be kind to yourself. Okay. Bye, y'all.